Hey, y'all. This is Dr. Traci Harrell, and I am literally live from Cabo San Lucas. I can't make any confirmation. how skilled I am. I've created some really cool videos for you all. I'm still here. I'm on my balcony. I'm going to share really, really, really quickly the beautiful view. This is this famous part of Cabo San Lucas. It's called the. You see that? Okay. It's actually articles de playa, like this famous. I don't know how well you can see that, but I have some really good videos. Some really, really good videos. So um, I'm hoping my producer is able to share them with you today. If not, I'm going to give it a try from my phone. God help us. But what I wanted, excuse me, I did like 5 videos for you. Um, okay, again, I'm on the ship's Wi-Fi, which I paid extra for it to be really, really fast. It's really, really slow. So I've gotten 1% of my favorite video uploaded. So I'm going to try to share that one with you. But really, 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 what today is about is living powerfully from wherever you are. I happen to be in Cabo San Lucas. I'm on a cruise, the Princess Discovery cruise with my sisters. It's very exciting. So my oldest sister Lynette, today's her birthday. Yay! Hi, Lynette. Um, but I'm also here with my middle sister Tina, who is wonderful. Like I almost forgot how extraordinary they all are. And I think we all have these moments sometimes where relationships change over time. Maybe they're not as um, your distance shows up, activity things show up, but being in a position where the universe just allows forgiveness and people choosing joy. And my sisters are freaking amazing. Not that I didn't already know that, but when you're in a sharing a suite with someone, it's a confirmation if you like those people or not. And they are wonderful. They're great, funny, they're positive. So all good things has come out of this trip so far. Um, I could show you more, but again, I have some really, really, really nice videos. Um, I normally, when I come on a cruise, I do a lot of spa time, but I don't have spa money this trip. So I won a little something during one of the things when I first got on board, which is exciting. So I was able to do that. But the um, the free content that they share here, one of them was so good, I recorded it. So I'm going to ask my producer. It is available on YouTube. And I think my producer can pull it up for you all. That I know we can share because it's been there for a day. So it's there. It's 45 minutes, which could allow us to go live for a few more minutes and then share this wellness seminar. And what I loved about this was a choice that I made. Again, I chose to be here. Yay, yay me, yay family. One of the objectives I wanted to accomplish in 2025 was to build deeper, closer familial relationships. I still have some stuff that I need to clean up from past uh, relationships, and I'm doing that as well. And this was one of them. Um, and so I'm proud of that. Um, and again, I don't see anything in the chat, so we're gonna see what happens when I try to. Oh, yeah, it's not gonna work, Daniel. I need you, baby cakes. Daniel's our producer. Yeah, it's not even giving me the option to share my screen from my phone. Yeah, it's saying yes, giving me yeah. So I'm gonna have to have you do that. I tried it earlier and it didn't work, but I thought maybe I had to be live. I don't know what I was thinking. But yeah, it's not letting me share from my stream screen, Daniel. So I am going to assume that my super awesome, unless he tells me otherwise, I am going to assume that my super awesome producer is pulling this video up to share with you. And I will give you a couple of insights. There have been probably, uh, I don't know how many people are on this ship, but I can say less than 10% look like us. And whenever I connect with someone that is of the darker complexion from the African diaspora, there's an immediate connection, right? There's another family that's here celebrating 2 or 3 that are sisters and brothers that are celebrating birthdays. Um, there's a couple couples been married for 50 years, over 50 years, and they're celebrating their anniversary. And I think people do things like cruises for special occasions. One of the things I would ask that we all do, one of the I think I heard a voice. Hopefully that was Daniel saying, "I got you." Hopefully that was Daniel saying, "I'm ready. I'm ready whenever you are." Daniel, I don't see anything. Again, I'm on my phone, y'all. But again, that's what a live show allows you to do. You show up the best you can, and you hope for the best. Anyway, uh, so what I was saying is, we get to choose, right? We get to decide like how we're going to show up for ourselves and for those around us. And this for me has been, the best declaration of living powerfully. I have 2 or 3 other cleanups that I need to do, and I'm looking forward to doing both of those this week. Meaning, meaning I am not wasting another minute. Not going to do it. I'm not, and neither should you, right? None of us are promised tomorrow. The last thing you want to do is take regrets, to the grave. Not that you hope you're going to die, not that you even think you're going to die. But again, the more quickly we take care of these open items, the more time you have to live in joy and to, live your best life and all of that. So for me, being here on the ship, but again, the other videos will show these beautiful water views and all these other things. So I'll definitely have it um, ready for you Monday of next week. I'll incorporate some of these in as well. If the wellness one is again, it's a pretty standalone video. The other thing, in addition to relationships, is my personal relationship with my body, with myself. That's what I'm focusing on in 2025. And so the fact that I spent quality time on a ship that is full of food and drinks and casinos, which I don't do casinos, but spas and all kind of things. I use my free time, my time to take in information about my own wellness, right? And so I think, and I wanted to share that with each of you. Um, Again, it is our bodies are the vessels that we walk through earth with, and so I definitely want to invest as much time as possible in the mind. So I got 2 minutes here before I drop off, and I hope Daniel's going to take over. If not, this will be the shortest show in history. It's not letting me do anything. Okay, I'm going to try chat again. I see nothing. Okay, well, this will be again. It's 12. It's 13 minutes. We were gonna swap out in 15. Yeah, I think we said that. We're gonna out in 12. And then it's gonna show a 15-minute video. That was gonna get us to 27 after. So I think we're over. So this might be the shortest show in history. If Daniel has a video, it's gonna pop on any minute. If not, I'm gonna bid you all farewell. I'm gonna say I love you dearly. I will be in a better position to show you some videos when I have my other technology that is working. Only got my phone to work on this Wi-Fi here. Kind of weird, but I'm glad I got to see you all. What I will say is what's coming next week. I'll give you a little heads up. What's coming next week are 3 things. I was talking about choices. I have a book that's coming out that is going to be talking about choices. Choose you, like, right? Choose you, decide. And you only have to do one thing, like one thing a day, one tiny little thing that's going to move any of your objectives forward. Just one, right? We start with these habits around morning and that's something, but that's not the only thing you can do, right? So being able to think through those superpowers that we talked about the last few weeks. Again, this is just level one. It's just like having the right information and then being able to apply it to your life. So being in a position to choose you, to choose joy, to choose relationships, to choose to live powerfully. That's what we're doing today. So more to come. Again, sorry that this technology thing is not working out, but I am live from Cabo San Lucas, and there's some other videos I hope to share. If not, go to my YouTube channel. If Daniel can't pull that up, go to my YouTube channel, and you can check out 2 videos. One is called Wellness, live from Cabo San Lucas, and the others two are still uploading, and there's one that at least one or two other ones that are live. So I don't want to take you away from this, but you got a few minutes before the next show, which is Pepino, I believe, sports with Pepino. That'll be live here at 7 o'clock. Mwah. Daniel, I'm assuming you got this. I love y'all. Bye.
There's over 4,000 diets. Did you know that? There's over 4,000 different types of diets. So I'm going to ask you the question, which one do you think is the best?
One you can stick to.
Exactly. The one you can stick to, right? Which means it's not a diet, is it? If you stick to it and you live by it, we don't call it a diet, do we? What do we call it? Lifestyle. Very good. Which means we're going to change the term and we're going to focus on something called nutrition. Okay? How we feed the body. So if we're thinking of a car again, instead of just driving it, we've also got to fuel it properly, right? Now, with nutrition, there are two aspects. We have quantity and quality, right? Now, if we're talking about health, which one's more important? Quality, right? However, we're going to go over both very quickly because title of the seminar, the main topic's metabolism, right? Now, metabolism, the way I like to explain it, is a little bit like the size of your engine. So if I have to give you an example, if I'm a 5-litre Cadillac and you're a 2-litre Volvo, we both want to drive 100 miles. Do we need the same amount of fuel to get there? No, because what's the difference? Size of the engine. We burn fuel at different rates, right? This is the exact same with the metabolism, right? Now, everyone needs to fuel their body differently, depending on the size of their engine. Does that make sense? Yeah? So here's the biggest problem with other diet programs that people join. Anyone have heard of Weight Watchers before? Very popular, right? If you decide to go on Weight Watchers, they put every female on a 1,200 calorie diet. So what they're doing is they're generalizing the female body, right? They're making seem that every female is the same. However, do you think every female is the same?
No.
No. So what happens to people's results when they do Weight Watchers? Some people might see a result and other people might not. They can't guarantee it. The problem is, when they're looking for a result, where are they judging the results by? Are they judging the result by the amount of fat you lose? Are they judging the results by the amount of muscle you gain? Or are they judging the results by the weight on a scale? Weight on a scale. So is it accurate? No. Now, when it comes to metabolism, I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works. So, the main organ in our body that burns fat, that helps keep your metabolism going. I will give you a clue. It starts with L, ends in liver. There you go. Don't make it easy, okay? So the liver is your fat-burning organ. It's the main metabolic organ. It has actually over 500 metabolic functions. It's a very, very important organ in the body. And if you actually want to realize this, the reason why we know it's important is because they actually spell it like that. Yeah, you can't live without one. So it's very important that we look after our liver, right? Now, there's 500 functions, but we're going to focus on two. Okay, we're not going to talk about all of them. We're going to focus on two. Number one function here that we talk about when it comes to fat burning is the secretion of bile. So the liver controls bile in the body. Bile is the enzyme that helps you break down and digest fat. So this is how we're able to burn fat in the body. We need the presence of bile, but we also need to do what? We need to move, right? Create heat. Fat is then broken down into glucose. What's another name for glucose? Sugar. And that gives your body energy in order for you to be able to use and build muscle. So this is how the metabolism works. Same for everyone, never changes. However, dependent on how we fuel the metabolism, depends on what your liver needs to use, right? Because let's look at it from 2 points of view. Let's say, for example, we want to build muscle, which requires us to eat a little bit more food, right? However, in just 1 pound of fat, we have 3,500 calories. That's how many calories are in 1 pound of fat. So we're going to do a little bit of maths now. Would you say that it's quite easy to overeat by 100 calories per day? Yeah? It's going to be quite easy this week, isn't it? Right? However, if we do that every single day for a whole year, just 100 calories, we will eat in excess of 36,500 calories over the course of the year. Okay? That is the equivalent of gaining, over the course of the year, 10 pounds of fat, just by overeating 100 calories a day. Now, let's say we do the opposite. Because let's say that we don't want to gain fat, we want to lose it. And we're desperate to do it, so we end up overeating by 100 calories a day, which means we starve our body by 36,500 calories over the course of the year, which means instead of losing the fat, what do you think we end up losing at the end of the year? Because when you don't give your body the requirement amount of energy, the liver needs to find it from somewhere else. So if it can't find it from the fat or the food you eat, it has to find it from the muscle. This is why the liver stores something called glycogen inside of your muscle. It's for times when it needs it to simply just survive and function. So this is why it's really important that we know how to fuel the metabolism properly. Now, first of all, do you agree that that's important? Because what do you want to lose? Do you want to lose fat or muscle? Fat. So it's important we know how to fuel it properly, right? However, how do we find out how much fuel we need? Well, if we wanted to fuel the muscle properly, we need to find how much energy we need, which is dependent on the amount of muscle we have in the body. So for the last 6 years that I've been helping people lose fat from their body, guess how many of those people know the exact amount of muscle in their body? 0. Which means, what are they doing when it comes to nutrition? They're trying their very hardest, but what are they theoretically doing? If they don't know what they're doing, what are we doing? Guessing. We're guessing. And if we guess, what is the very likely thing to happen with our weight? It's going to go like this. We call it the yo-yo lifestyle, where we lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. And we also hit something very common that we call a plateau. Anyone ever hit a plateau before? Okay. Is it nice? Frustrating, right? Because dieting, do you think dieting's easy or hard? It's extremely hard. You know why it's hard? Because if you go on a diet, for example, what are you always thinking about? Yeah, something that you can't do. It's because the brain can't focus on negative thoughts. If I tell you don't think of an elephant, it's impossible. So if I say to you, look, losing weight is as simple as cutting sugar, bread, carbs, pasta, rice out. What do you think you're going to be thinking about every single day? Yeah. You think that's healthy? No, absolutely not, right? And it's not even the right answer anyway, because we've been eating bread for 2,000 years. So for someone to say don't eat bread, for me, it's pretty depressing anyway. So when it comes to actually nutrition, it's as simple as quantity of food when it comes to fueling. However, when it comes to health and your ability to actually burn the fat, it is all dependent on if you have a healthy what? Liver. Because what is the most important function of the human liver? Does anyone know? What's the most important function of the human liver? What do you think the main job of it is? Very good. It creates the foundation of a healthy body. That's what your liver does. It creates a healthy, clean system by doing a function called detoxification. Now, detoxification is the process of eliminating chemicals from the body. Now, why are we making this the foundation now of our health and not nutrition? Well, if you look at nutrition right now in the 21st century, you look at the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the air that we breathe, the stress we put on our body. What have you noticed that's changed in the 21st century about those things compared to maybe 70, 100 years ago? Is it the exact same? It's processed, right? If you think about the knowledge, for example, right? You're on a cruise ship, you go to Horizon Buffet, you have all this food to choose from, right? Now, I can guarantee 99% of people on this cruise ship know exactly what are the healthy options and what are the not so healthy options. Would you agree? Yeah. So it's not about knowledge, is it? However, now we have more knowledge. Let's say we want to be healthy and we choose the chicken, the vegetables. Let's say we choose the chicken, the vegetables, and all these healthy foods, right? The problem is now we choose the healthy food, but what does the healthy food now have inside of it? We have the preservatives, we have the additives, the insecticides, the pesticides. So what we've noticed is a lot of people have a lot of knowledge of food, but they don't have a lot of knowledge of what? Chemicals and what we put inside and how it affects the body. And this is the problem. When we start to put more chemicals in the body, our body starts to
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not translating the lyrics of Boogie Oogie Oogie for bored Europeans, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
La Agencia de Protección Ambiental de Estados Unidos y los miembros del grupo de la Vía Fluvial del Bajo Duwamish, que incluye al condado de King, la ciudad de Seattle y Boeing, han comenzado la limpieza de sedimentos en el sitio designado como Superfondo de la Vía Fluvial del Bajo Duwamish. Este importante proyecto ambiental busca reducir la contaminación de los sedimentos y contribuir a la recuperación del río Duwamish. Comenzando en el tramo superior de la vía fluvial, las actividades de construcción se extienden desde el puente de la calle 102 Sur hasta el Parque Duwamish Waterway. Durante los próximos 3 años, las actividades en el agua se llevarán a cabo entre octubre y febrero, finalizando en febrero de 2027. Visite ldwg.org para conocer más sobre la limpieza del tramo superior y para suscribirse para recibir actualizaciones por correo electrónico.
1, 2, get down! What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Mara, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
How is the air quality in your neighborhood? Do you feel comfortable breathing the outdoor air? We want to hear from you. The Puget Sound Clean Air Agency is hosting a community workshop in King County to shape the comprehensive climate action plan, and your input matters. Share your concerns, ideas, and lived experience with air pollution in your community. No expertise needed, just your voice. Register now at pscleanair.gov/CPRG. Participants may be eligible for reimbursement for their time. Be part of the solution. See you there.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world, the station that cares about our community.
Yeah.
Every 6 months, putting more chemicals in every day, thousands of them, which means our liver is prioritizing which function? Detoxification, removal of chemicals, keep you alive, keep you functioning. So what is it having to sacrifice along the way as we get older? One of those other functions it might sacrifice is the ability to secrete what? Bile might slow down now. And if bile slows down, what's going to happen? You're going to find it harder to burn fat. And you know what's really frustrating? What ends up happening when you struggle to burn fat? What do people end up doing? First initial thing they do is they start exercising more. They start getting it's not working. So what do they try next? Diets end up restricting their lifestyle. And then they're going on all these diets throughout their life, seeing a little bit of results, but not enough to keep them going, and they end up yo-yoing. Now, if the diet doesn't work and the exercise doesn't work, what do people end up doing? Yeah, and they give up on their health, right? And this is the most frustrating thing. But as you can see from our trilogy, where should we all be focusing on? Yes, because what are we putting more of in the body? Chemicals. Now, let me explain why. I'm going to explain to you how to properly detoxify your body in as little as 6 months to get your body brand new. There's only 2 things, right?
Yeah.
And 2, I need a little bit of an open mind. And I know, and the reason why, how many of you have heard detox before? So, how many of you thought that you could possibly do it in 7 days? How many of you have seen a 7-day detox before? You've seen it, right? So this is why I need an open mind, because there is a lot of misinformation about this topic. But I'm going to explain to you the science behind you doing it. Now, the way I explain it is I'm going to explain it using a vacuum cleaner. Now, who has used a vacuum cleaner before? Okay. Silence. So, let's take a look. All right, vacuum cleaner has 3 sections. We have cords, we have a filter, we have a bag. This is how your body keeps itself clean. It has 3 systems to do it. Okay, so if you're cleaning your carpet at home, what is the first section that collects all of the waste? Out of those 3, what collects the waste? That shows me everything. Let me point to it. It's the bag, right? So, once the bag starts to fill up, in order for you to keep a nice, healthy, clean bag, as it starts to fill up, what should we do to it? Empty it, right? So the bag is our gut, okay? Digestive system, digestive tract. Every time you eat food, drink water, breathe air, stress, everything accumulates in the bag first. Now, we have a very big bag. It's 22 feet long, can expand 3 times wider than its natural size. So how do we notice that our bag's getting full? Well, if everyone makes a fist for me, this is about the size of your stomach. Place it on your body where your stomach, you think your stomach is.
Very good afternoon, everybody. Captain Alex here from the bridge.
Okay, we all have different stomachs, right?
Owner position is latitude 28 degrees north and longitude 115 degrees 48 minutes west. This place is approximately 25 nautical miles west of Islas Ceros. Currently located on our port side, we are sailing on a southeasterly heading 140 degrees. Current depth of the water during the year is about 600 meters, just under 2,000 feet. Since our departure from Los Angeles, Discover Princess has sailed a total distance of 370 nautical miles, 426 miles, average speed of 19.5 knots or 22 miles per hour. This leaves us a further 450 nautical miles, 518 miles left to run before we arrive in Cabo San Lucas. Otherwise, at the moment we have sunny skies with an outside temperature of 16 degrees Celsius and 61 degrees Fahrenheit. Sun is overcast. And the sunset tonight is 18:50, and when I was stuck outside, right inside the vessel. The sunrise tomorrow is going to be at 06. Throughout the evening, overnight, we'll continue to sail in the parallel to the coastline of the Mexican by California Peninsula on our port side. We will make our final approach to Cabo San Lucas, right just before lunchtime. Tomorrow, around 11 o'clock, I'll come back to the speaker that will give you some more information regarding as we're doing our final approach into the Cabo San Lucas Bay and towards our English position. For the forecast for tomorrow, Cabo shows sunny skies, high temperature 22 degrees Celsius, 72 Fahrenheit. Northwesterly winds around 5 to 10 knots. Showing pretty good day. Now I have a little riddle relating the discovered process, and I want to see how many of you will find it. A quick advice: don't Google it because it doesn't work. So, what part of the ship goes from the bow to the stern, from the stern to the bow, from port to starboard, but never from starboard to port? So let me repeat one more time. What part of the ship goes from the bow to the stern, from the stern to the bow, from port to starboard, and never from starboard to port? Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you think you know the answer, come and find me tonight during the formal night at the Captain Champagne Waterfall in the Piazza around 18:30. We will be there presenting all our senior officers. So if you think you know the answer, come and see me and you might going to have a treat. Anyway, enjoy your sea day in the beautiful Discovery Princess. And for all those of you in love with the love boat, I'm going to sound the love boat whistle. Ciao.
Okay. Hello. There we go. All right. So, where do we think our stomach was? Everywhere, right? So, our stomach's directly beneath our sternum. And it's a little higher. However, where do most people struggle to lose weight from? It's not here, is it? Where is it? Which is what? Our gut, our digestive tract. So this is one symptom. We notice our gut starts to come out a little bit, starts to fill up. However, we have other symptoms. We have things like bloating, constipation. If we analyze the digestive tract, meaning a bag, right? If we eat 3 meals a day, how often should we empty our bag, do you think? 3 times, right? It would make sense, and that's what's true. If you think of a baby, you feed them 6 times, they poop 6 times. They're pooping machines, right? However, when it comes to an adult and we start putting more chemicals, they find it harder to break down. Bag fills up, and the problem now is when the bag fills up and we start to put more chemicals in, now we have more chemicals coming in, we have chemicals aren't going out. So what's the next system that's going to start to get more stress? The filter. The filter of the body is what? The liver. Liver starts to become stressed. How many functions does your liver have? So what we might start to see is a sluggish liver. We might start to see symptoms of a poor functioning liver. Now, a lot of us, we do health checkups with a doctor, right? We do blood work. Blood work analyzes the liver, how it functions. We might start to notice our cholesterol is not the way it should be. Our blood pressure, our blood sugar, our hormones, all of these things our liver controls might start to slow down. Are they the cause or are they the symptom? Symptom. So what do we start to treat if we find the symptom going wrong? What is very common that we start to do now? We start to treat the symptom. So if it's cholesterol, for example, how do we fix it? Take a pill, right? If it's blood pressure, how do we fix it? We take a pill, right? However, if your liver was perfectly healthy, would we have the problem? No, exactly not. And the problem is, if we decide to take the pill, what are we damaging in the side effect of it? Correct. Which is why we believe in working together with our medical doctors so we can get people off the medication. We use it for now, and then we work on trying to get them off it at the same time. However, when your liver gets more stressed, the problem is that I mentioned that your liver rejuvenates itself. And the way that it does it is that it's very smart. Your liver has a certain capacity of toxins. When those toxins get too many, it will start to spit them out, just like a vacuum. If your vacuum's clogged and you've got to clean your carpet and it's too clogged, what happens? It starts spitting out waste. This is what your liver does. This is why we need our cords. Our cords will start to take on the excess. These cords in your system, they're known as your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system has little nodules called lymph nodes that store the excess. Now, if these lymph nodes start to get congested, now we have a fully clogged vacuum cleaner. This means that your body has the inability to keep itself clean. Does that make sense? Okay. Now we're at a point where we might have a bit of trouble because now our body can't keep itself clean, but yet what are we putting into the body every day? And we have no room to put it. Lymph nodes are congested, liver's overworked, back's full. Where do we put it? This is where the brain will kick in. It becomes very selfish, and your brain starts to use other parts of your body to deal with the chemicals. Now, to understand this, we need to understand a bit of chemistry. So while the captain was talking, I drew a scale at the bottom of the page. Does anyone remember the pH scale from school? Yes? If you don't, we're going to go back to school for 5 minutes, okay? So pH goes from 0 to 14. It measures things that are acid or opposite being alkaline. Very good. Now, everything has a pH, but we're talking about our body. And what we call homeostasis, or perfect health, is when the pH of blood is 7.36. So this is what we call perfect health, okay? Or homeostasis. This is what your body needs to keep you at. So what does your body really, really not like? Acid. This is why in 1931, there was a doctor called Otto Warburg that found out that acid is the root cause of 95% of all disease in the body. He went on to win a Nobel Prize for discovering what happens when your body gets congested and what our body does with the excess acid. What happens is your brain starts to use other things in your body. So if you are someone that has a little bit of excess fat on their body, the brain's going to start to use that excess fat to store the toxins, because fat cells are mostly made up of water, just like your body, which means a fat cell can use the water to protect the body from the acid, and it retains the water around the outside. This protects the pH of the blood, and what we create in the meantime as a side effect is something we call inflammation. Now, you guys have heard of inflammation, right? Yeah? So we have two types of inflammation in the body. We have acute inflammation. If you roll your ankle, what might happen? Might swell, right? However, when your ankle is recovered, what happens to the swelling? It goes away, right? This is acute inflammation. It's only going to be there for a couple of days, then it goes away. What we have here isn't acute. This is called chronic inflammation. And this is actually derived from a sick environment, and this is what causes your body a problem. Now, the goal is not to be depressed, so please don't get depressed, okay? Inflammation, as you can now see, is protecting your body from what? Acid. That's why it's there. It's protection. But the problem is, by protecting the blood, what don't we have access to anymore? We don't have access to the fat cell. So we put stuff in fat. And there's one system that we must follow, and this is the vacuum cleaner, which means the first system that we need to clean is what? The bag. Very good. We need to get the bag clean before we can then support the liver, and then we support the liver to get rid of the what? Acid. This is where we use the algae. The reason why algae works so well, has anyone ever tasted ocean water before? How does it taste? Has anyone ever tasted your sweat? Yes, it was found in 1901 that ocean water has the identical pH to human blood plasma, 98% the same. This is why in hospitals, what do they use to hydrate blood? Saline, which is what? It's salt water from the ocean that they clean and hydrate the blood with. It was Dr. Eddie Quinton that found that out. There's a lot of science behind this. What we found was that the one molecule that keeps the pH at 7 or your foot or the mirror and see how much inflammation you have. Absolutely not, right? I would be a Nobel Prize winner if I could do that. So instead of using those things, we use science. Okay? How we use science is there is a machine that we have on deck 17. Has anyone been to the gym yet? Might have seen it in the corner. It's called InBody 517. You might have heard of InBody before. It was designed by NASA. They used the technology to analyze the health of astronauts. We decided to invest into InBody 30 years ago in order to help guests understand their inflammation level. So it is not a body fat test, okay? If you want a body fat test, you jump up and down. Whatever's moving, that's a body fat test. Okay? However, inflammation is water. So we analyze it through impedance, okay? So how it works is you step on two plates, you grip two rods, you sign a form, and then they electrocute you. Very safely, okay? Takes around 2 minutes, okay? Once we do it, we're able to create a blueprint. So it's able to send an impedance to get visceral fat, metabolism, body fat level, muscle mass, and inflammation. This gives me the data in order for me to write up a personalized program system for you, not anyone else. So when it does it, you get something called BMR. This is basal metabolic rate, amount of energy you require to feed your body every day. This means we can guarantee to give you the best nutrition plan possible going forward. We also get segmented muscle. It can actually tell you how much muscle you have in your right arm, right leg, left leg. So if you have any big imbalances, maybe surgeries or pain, we can recommend certain exercises to help you with that. We can also then analyze your fluid. It gets the total amount of water in the body, then it gets the amount of water on the outside, and that's going to be your inflammation number. We can get it to the pound. I can see how many pounds of water you're retaining, which means then I can tell you how long you're going to need to keep algae in the body to clean it. While you are putting that in your body, your job that whole time is to flush your system. Get it out of your body. You've got 3, 6, or 9 months to do it. As you're doing that, we're supporting you and coaching you on your lifestyle, but you can't take me home. That's the problem for some people, right? However, if I give you all the information now on what to do, when you go home, all your job is to do is what? Do it. Now, because some people, this might be the first time they've ever done anything with their health, they might need support. So with every guest that does our program, we offer our full commitment for the whole time they're on the detox. So if they decide that they want to do the 9-month detox, we will support them for 9 months. But because they can't take me home, how am I going to stay in contact with them? Emails, very good. We stay in contact with email. They can use me as much as they want. This means that they get their own trainer, nutritionist, and wellness coach for the whole time. The goal is to learn everything they need to do. So after their detox is finished, their body is new. Their goal is to maintain it, but they would have learned everything they would have done from our coaching and information before. Now, to do the InBody test, if you were to do an InBody with a consult at home, on average, it's about $149 a person. On board, we offer it for $99 in our spa. However, because you come to my seminar, I appreciate you guys for spending the time this morning. I'm going to take $30 off the $99. I will make it $69 for the InBody and consult, and I will allow you to bring someone else completely free. So this, you can be husband, wife, friend, family. If they're not here, it's okay. Just bring them along. I'll explain to them why they're there. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've helped, not joking now, thousands of guests over the last 6 to 7 years on board. And 95% of success from guests from this program have come from people that have worked together, supported each other. Do you believe success comes in pairs? So do we. So if you have someone there supporting you, whether or not they do it or not, ideally they would and they support you, you are much more likely to be successful in making a change. Because is change easy or is change hard? It's hard, right? Plus, I'm asking you to do something you've never done before. So that's not comfortable for a lot of people. However, our goal is to make you as comfortable as possible doing it. Which is why I'm also going to tell you that it's not free. And I'm going to explain to you, on average, when people do our system of exercise, nutrition, and detox for all of this time, they're on average investing around 100 to 180 a month, or about $4 to $5 a day, just over that period of time, in order for them to get everything they need to go home with and all their support with. The reason why I'm breaking it down like this is because what do people spend $4 to $5 a day on? Yeah, Starbucks, right? Sometimes more now. What are they spending 100 to 180 a month on? Vitamins, supplements. What are they spending it on this week? Yeah, $90 a day, right? Premium beverage package, which tells me if they can afford to do that for 7 days, they can afford to do this for 6 months. So it's not the question you need to ask is can they afford it? It's can they afford not to? Because if we don't invest in our health, who is going to? Is someone else going to do it for you? Yeah, I always used to tell my friends and family, if we don't invest our time, energy, and money into our health, one day we're going to be forced to invest those things into our illness. And it's my job to realize how important it is before it gets too late. My job is to help you. I understand that some people might not be ready for change. There's a lot of people here, a lot of people on the ship. You can see how many people just come to a health seminar, right? Even though we know it's important. So I really, guys, I do appreciate you coming. The next step now is to get the consultation, and this will allow me to work everything out for you. You spend the time, and then your decision from there is up to you. It's what you decide to do, what you're comfortable decide to do. We'll spend the time, we'll go over your goals, your lifestyle, medical history, the whole lot, and we'll work out a proper program for you to get you to your goal, whatever that is, okay? To help you out with change, there's actually a book that I read before. It's called The Horse, the Boy, the Fox, and the Mole. I don't know whether anyone's ever read it before, but the boy was walking through the forest with the horse, and the horse all of a sudden stopped. And the boy asked the horse, "Why did you stop?" The horse said, "Well, I can't see the end of the forest. I don't know where I'm going." And all the boy replied with, "Can you see your next step?" The horse said, "Yes." The boy said, "Just take that." And what it is it's an inkling of how easy it is to make small little steps until change happens. Yeah, it might take us 9 months to get healthy, but our goal shouldn't be to focus on 9 months. Our goal should be to focus on what? Next step. What we can do today to control our actions to make ourselves healthy. Okay? Give yourselves a nice little clap. Thank you guys for coming. All right, I really do appreciate it. If you guys would like to put the consult.
Hey y'all, we are live from Cabo San Lucas. Come, please, don't worry. We're live from Cabo San Lucas. We're in the back of the Princess Discovery. This is the world famous Playa de Arcos. So on the other side, there's this arc of rocks. Right now, what you see is the gorgeous formation of rocks. Let me see if I can angle the camera this way for you. I'm going to take you on a tour here in a second. Over here, you see some beautiful. Let me see how I can. I'll roll you closer. Over here, you see some beautiful resorts, literally built into the rocks. Is that gorgeous or what? The beautiful day. The weather is perfect. So this is me living powerfully in Mexico. And what I love about this, probably more than anything, let me just back up and see how this works. See how this works. There you go. What I love about this more than anything is that I'm actually here with my two sisters. I hope I'm in the camera's view. But I'm here with my two sisters. My oldest sister, Lynette's birthday is today. Hi, Lynette. Um, but what I had on my list of intentional things to do this year in 2025 was really to rebuild my relationship with these lovely, wonderful, awesome ladies. And so we're on a cruise. It's been incredible, incredible. Yeah, that's it. So I'm going to take you on a tour as if you were with me. So hold, please. Okay. So here's Cabo San Lucas. We are going to be going to Vallarta as well. Hold on. Something just happened. I don't know what just mentioned. I forgot. I'll tell you later if I remember. So let me just show you this before I get to the other side of the where you'll see with Cabo. This is the back of the boat. Check this out. Is that gorgeous? Swimming, right? Swimming right here at the edge. Looking out in the water. Gotta love it. Okay, sorry, I'm just keep touching something, but I think we're still live. Okay. I'm going back up. I'm gonna keep the water views going. I'm gonna take you this way. Again, super beautiful. It's a little walking path that I'm on. And then there's more of Cabo. Looks like the city lights or the city. When we first came in, all you could see was beautiful sand beaches and resorts. This looks clearly more like a city. You can see parasailing happening in the water. Again, I'll take you on a little tour here.